Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. In the last update, worked on this section just here where the flat iron is, and also started this part here for a hangar for our submarine for the Penguin. Since then, I've been thinking about the submarine, and the vision's changing all the time on this area. Originally, it was going to be almost like a U-boat in shape, but obviously smaller, as you wouldn't fit the minifig one in here. But now I'm thinking about having it so there's things going on all around the submarine, and whether or not the submarine's actually in the water, it could be hanging on some chains for whatever reason. That might give it a good visual in there, and also able to appreciate the submarine. Well, I could do a whole submarine as opposed to just the top of one, which is attached to the top of the base plates there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the plates off of the top of the raised platform here and possibly lose the first two arches just there. Again, this sort of thing is a very simple job to do, so what I can then do is extend this part here of the hangar by possibly about 16 studs, and then we're going to have a lot more storytelling opportunities within that. So anyway, without further ado, let's start dismantling the top of this and make those amendments. And that's the submarine hangar all extended in size. So I've actually brought it forward a little bit, but obviously wide now. And I think I've widened it by about 16 studs. Now on the back here, you can see there's some white plates, some white bricks there, and there's some snot bricks on the wall as well. And the plan is I'm going to plate over the back walls there with some white plates, tile over the top of it, and give it a nice icy, snowy effect down that end. Then I'm going to put some penguins down there, just so the penguin actually feels at home in his lair. Now, originally, I was going to have it so I've actually built the iceberg lounge straight onto the Mills plate. However, like the rest of the buildings, I think it's going to be better to have them freestanding. So the actual hangar itself is going to be built onto the Mills plate, but the building will not. So I'm going to knock this wall down here and here. And what I'll do is I'll carry on building the wall up here, then put a beam going across, be a couple of support pillars there as well, be a wall going along this side, and then I'll build the roof over the top of it, and then just slide the iceberg lounge up to the build there. Now, I was originally going to have it so there was just a door coming into here for the hangar area, but I might make it that the back's a little bit lower and have an entrance to the iceberg lounge at the back there, which was another thing I was originally going to do. So I just need to work out exactly how I'm going to go about doing it, and also how big I'm going to make the iceberg lounge. At the moment, I've got it this long, which is very big compared with all the other buildings in Gotham City so far, so it might be a little bit too big, so I might have to totally rethink my actual layout of the iceberg lounge here. But yeah, really happy with how this is coming along. But anyway, let's carry on building the wall up along the edge here, do the support beam going across, then once I've done that, I can start thinking more about the actual iceberg lounge itself. Just started building the support pillars up here, which is going to take the upper wall section of the submarine hang here. And I was just looking at the door here, and I'm not sure whether or not that's actually going to be big enough for the submarine, as I don't know what the submarine is going to look like. So I think before I go any further with building this actual structure here, I'm going to just mock up the submarine, just get a rough idea of the size and shape that I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to start it roughly to start with, and then I'll do all of the finer details to the submarine a little bit later on. But yeah, it'd be just nice to get a rough idea of how big the submarine's going to be and what it's actually going to look like as well, because at the moment I've got so many different visions or ideas floating around in my head that yeah, just need to work out what we're going to do with it. And here we have the start of our submarine, and I've got these two panels here which I'm going to attach to some snot bricks. I'm going to make a framework inside here which will be 4 studs wide, and then I'll just attach these onto the side here. Now at the moment, these rear sections from probably about here backwards, I'm just wondering whether or not to actually put those on a hinge piece so I can actually get the 2 sections here going closer together at the end here. So this is going to be about 8 studs wide here, and I don't really want to have it that fat, I don't think, at the back. So yeah, just need to make a decision on that part of the build. A little bit of progress has been made to the base of the submarine, and I've got the angle on the back here how I wanted to have it. And on the very back here, I've got a snot brick which has got a stud on either side, and it's just clipping into the 2 edge parts here, which this is all on hinges, and it's not fully connected, so it's a little bit of an illegal building technique. And then the top of the snot brick is connected to this modified plate here, and that's just helping to keep these plates here all connected to the bottom there. I'll put some jumper plates just here, for which I'm going to put some snot bricks on, and that's going to enable me to carry on building up here. And it's just helping to bring the bricks in by a fraction. So let's carry on building that along, and I'll check back in once we've made a little bit more progress. And here we have our Penguins Submarine, and there's a couple of bits I just want to carry on tweaking with. The top section here I think needs to come forward just a little bit, and also the fins on the side here, I'm not 100% happy with those either. So yeah, just going to carry on experimenting, and fingers crossed we come up with something we're a little bit happier with. And here we have the Penguin Submarine in the submarine hangar, and it fits in there nicely. Probably got about 3 or 4 studs clear at the front of the hangar. Width-wise, it doesn't fit through as it is at the moment. However, you can just put the fins up, and then the submarine will be able to come out. Then just pop them back down once it's through the doorway. Now, I am going to raise this up by probably 2, maybe 3 bricks, just so when I'm filming, it's easier to see into the hangar. I just think it's going to look a little bit better having it that little bit higher up on there. And I was able to get up to the Blanchardstown Lego store in Dublin yesterday, and we managed to pick up 5 pick brick boxes, which meant we got the free gift with purchase. They're always much appreciated for the parts. Now, with the boxes, I managed to get pretty much everything I was going up for, plus a few extra bits, which was an added bonus. So the first box here, we've got a load more of the 4x6 dark bluish grey plate, and I'm going to be needing this for the raised train line support. But this was a piece that I wasn't expecting to see, and was really pleased to do so. And that's the trans blue cheese wedges, and these are going to come in so helpful for the seat, adding a bit of texture to it. I'm getting very low on the 1x2 plate. I did pick up some 1x4 tiles when I was in Germany, and some 1x2 plates, but not many. So these will hopefully get a good chunk of that sea done. But we also managed to pick up some of the trans clear panels here, which we're going to be using on our skyscraper. So yeah, really happy with the parts we got there. In this box here, this one I think is pretty much, I'll get into it. In this box here, we got the 3x3 dark blue plates, and these are going to come in very, very handy for the sea again. We're using the black plate and the dark blue for the ocean underneath the tile. So hopefully we've got enough now to get the entire water area finished. But I will also be using these as well on my Tantive engines as well, just as not filler plate, but structural plate I'm going to be classing it as. So yeah, I've got plenty of those. I think I've got about 2 boxes full of them. There's, as you can see, packed to the rafters there. And in this box here, again, it's more of the 3x3 plates, a load more of the panels here for the windows, and also picked up some 2x4 black bricks as well. And the 2x4 black bricks there for my Tantive build to help with the support structure. And in this box here, we did some ingenious packing here, where we actually built the sides up here just a little bit more than the actual box, and then filled it up with the blue cheese wedges here, trans blue cheese wedges. So again, more bricks there on the 2x4, 1x4 red bricks, and some also some of the 2x6 dark orange plates. And in this box here, again, it is the 3x3 plates and a whole load more of these window pieces, and there is a whole layer of these at the very bottom as well. So yeah, fingers crossed we have got enough of the window pieces there, but these are very readily available on the pick brick wall, so if we haven't, we'll just go get some more. Now, the service you get in Blanchardstown is always fantastic, so massive thank you, as always, to Sive and Shane. They always go above and beyond with the customer service, always go out the back looking to see if they got the parts there that I need. And if they're ever quiet, Shane very often helps to stack some pieces as well. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. You are legends. And that's the start of the ice effect at the back of the hangar here. And I just need to find out some more curved slopes and cheese wedges, and a couple more of the wedge plates as well, and then we can get that all finished off. So I've put a couple of slopes here and tiles, and they're raised up by 1 plate, and that'll let me put some tiles underneath for the water effect. What I'm going to turn my attention to now is building the wall along this section here to get an idea of what it's going to look like from the docks. And there we have the start of the outer wall for the submarine hangar here. And I think the colour change from the light bluish grey to the nougat and dark orange, I think works really well. Then need to change the door frame over to black so it matches the windows. I think that'll just look a little bit tidier, so we will do that. And I'm probably going to come one more row of bricks further up here. There's going to be a slope just above here, so that's as high as that's going to be. And then I'll probably put it so that it's a removable roof on here. So I'm going to have the iceberg lounge at the front, and it will come over the warehouse here. However, I want to have it so I can get inside here should I need to do so. So at least if I do it modular, then I'll be able to do that. But yeah, it's nice to have another section sort of like in my mind visually how it's going to look. Now I'm going to turn my attention to is just starting to plate this all off, ready for the tiles. And that's as far as I can go with the plating off until I found out some more black plate. I know I have got some more somewhere, so I just need to do some more Lego sorting. But hopefully in the next week or so I'll be able to make a start on the water along here. Now that I've got all the extra pieces from Germany and also those trans cheese wedges off the big brick wall yesterday, we should be able to get a good portion of the detail in this water finally done. And I can't wait to do it, as I think it's going to look so good adding more details rather than just having the plain look that we've got there. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think could be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Hey, thanks for popping by. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.